list one. That's on adding items on list. Let's do manipulation on deleting or removing items on the list. The first one is the remove method, the remove function. We add the dot remove to the name of your list. We'll still use the shopping list. So shopping list dot remove. Then with remove, you have to add the exact item that you're getting out of that list. So say we are removing home, since we extended, we added home into shopping list, we have to remove the exact item, which is home. So when you print that, we expect our shopping list should not have the item home. So print shopping list. So the previous one, you see it had home. Then after using the remove, we don't have home at the end. So remove is one of them. There's another one called pop. Shopping list dot pop. So pop, when you have an index inside, say we are removing the first element in the list, it pops the first element, like it removes the first element. But when you fail to have anything inside the pop bracket, it removes the last element in your list. So for example, let us have one there, then we print it. We expect that's the first element to be, shopping list.pop. Sorry, wrong name. Yeah, it should be shopping. Delete print really. Sorry. Let me run it again. Windows next week's television. It popped. You see, compare this one here and this one. I popped the. You remember I popped element at index 1. That's the second element in the list. The first element is mangoes, then the second is Nick. So come to check these ones that we printed. The last one, it doesn't. Nick is missing the list. So pop method has been used to remove the first one. But when we remove the index over there, it should remove the last element in the list and not the first. So 6.7 was removed instead, and 6.7 was removed from this list. Another way of manipulating. We can also use a del keyword, del, then call your list. Then the index that you want to delete. See if it's the fourth element in the list, if it's the fourth, now we'll do with that index 5 because it starts with 0. Remember, indexing starts from 0. So then again, we get to print it. I get an error. What's the error? Shopping list. My list doesn't get to 5. Okay, let me say 3. Deletes the third 0, 1, 2, 3. Television is missing now from here since it's the fourth element in the list.
Yeah. Can you try to slice off use the slicing to maybe remove two elements and just remain with one. Let's see how that works with del.
With del, then I remove the two elements.
Just leave the one at index 0.
And that will mean I start from 1
to the end.
To the end.
Yeah, try that.
Yeah, I'm only getting mango in my list as the first element. The others have been deleted.
Yes.
Then let's do sorting for manipulation. Then I'll finish. I'll do while and for loop. After that, I'll run my program. Then give chance to the others too.
Okay.
So sorting and a list, it can be sorted in ascending order, descending order, or there's even a reverse. You can reverse the normal order, the normal flow of your list. So I need to have this list. Let me show you. Let me see what we have remaining. This is what we have. Okay, let's come up with a better list for it. Let's create a new list. Let's have page. Smartphone. I think let's use that. So the method for sorting a list, we do .sort. We use sort that's for arranging your items in the list in ascending order. That's from the smallest item to the largest, or in terms of say alphabetical order from A in that order. So let's sort this one in that ascending order. It has to start from age, since A is the first letter in the alphabet. So something. I just sorted it. I need to print it. So on printing it, it should be give me, yeah, the list is sorted in ascending order, starting with A as the first alphabet, then G, then name, then S as the last letter there. That's the first way of sorting it in ascending order. To sort it in descending order, inside the sort method, all I need to do is add I need to add this statement, reverse equals to true. This will allow me to sort it in descending order. Now the other one is now starting smartphone, name, group, the other way around. And now when we want to reverse the order of our list, now the last index element to be the first one, that's simple. We just do list.reverse. I can do new list. Then the method is reverse. Just like that, you get to print it. It should now start with remember we had sorted it in alphabetical order. Now after the alphabetical order, it's when it will rearrange them now. Smartphone name, group age. Now it started with age, group, name, smartphone. That's now lists in reverse order. Let me do how to access the items through a loop, the items in a list through a loop. For loop. For loop is simple. You only do a for statement is like, for, let me use still new list for items. I'll refer to them as items in our new. I have given the list a name, new list. So items, these are the things inside the new list. I'm just giving it what do we call it? Good naming. I forget. Instead
Sorry.
of using X, instead of using X or Y, use appropriate names.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you're asking, I mean, meaningful variables.
yeah. That's why I
Using
decided to use now for items in new list to
yeah.
refer to the things that are inside the list. You just print those items immediately. That's straightforward. Items. Now these are the items in the list. They're being printed: age, group, name, and smartphone. That is the for loop. You can also access it using the for loop if you want to use the indexing, but now you'll introduce a variable, so we can call it item still, but not really items, because I'm referring it to the index, exactly the index. So let's use I in range. So you have to when you're using the indexing, you have to introduce the range component, and range has to take the length of the length of our list, the number of items in our list. Now in our case, it's our length of new list. Have a colon over there. Then we print new list I. This should give us the elements in the list just the same way. Let me comment one for one to run, since there is confusion. Yeah, as you can see, the items have been accessed through the for loop, but using indexing. Now here we used I, and the other one, it was the direct one, but this one is much simpler, I'd say.
So did you access all the items with the range function?
Yes,
Okay. All right.
this
Okay.
these are the items that have been accessed.
Okay. Good.
Then there's the using the while loop. I'll do a while. But for while, I have to consider again I'll initialize, say, for while I'm using, how do I put it? I'm using indexing for while to access the items in the list. So I'll have to initialize a variable to 0, to which will reference to the element as the first position. So I'll start with I to represent 0, I equals to 0. Then now my while loop comes into play. Now while I is less than, now the length of our list again, new list. We print the element in the ith index, that's the starting from the 0 index. Print new list. I, our index will be I. Then we remember we have to increment our I, that's I plus equals, that's plus equals to 1. That's just like saying I equals to I plus 1. A shorter version of it, just saying I plus equals to 1. So it should also give us, to avoid the conflicting, let me comment the 4 ones. So yeah, here is running, then it's accessing the items, age group, name, and smartphone. So that's how you can manipulate your lists using loop and for while, the for loop, while loop, and also some of the ways that we've been manipulated it, adding items, removing items, and different ways of accessing it. So the last part of my task was to do what was the instructions again? I can't remember the instructions in full. But it was I was to write a function that gets the sum of the items in the iterable. My function. Here's my code. I'll explain. So first I defined a function. The function I called it sum calculation. Inside the function, I wanted to pass a list, since we are want to iterate through the list. Then, since we are getting the sum of the items in the sum of items inside the list, created a variable, called it addition, then used a method called sum. There's a method, an inbuilt Python function called sum, then passed in the list. It'll automatically calculate the sum of the items inside the list. Then I go to this print message that will display for me the sum of the iterable is now calling this addition. Then here's where I initialized a list, fed it with some data, then called the sum.
Remove the left pane. Control B to remove the left pane, so that we can see well.
Control B.
Yeah.
Okay. Much better now?
Yes, that's good.
So here's when I created a list, called it age of students, the different ages, then called the function sum calculation, passed the list age of students. It got to calculate the age from, let me run and let's calculate the age. Clear first. So from this list of mine, it's giving me the sum to be 118. That's 22 plus 15. And do it with numbers that we are familiar with, say 10 plus 20 plus 30. Then that's 60 as the sum. So that's what I was tasked to do.
Yeah, you've done a very